Hiya, welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Brought to you today from my dad's sunny back garden here in the UK. And you know what, looking forward to the Emirates Cup later on, where I'm going to be taking my kids down. It's always a great occasion because the two sets of games over the couple of days gives you an opportunity to get youngsters down there. For people who don't, have a season ticket and ain't regularly able to watch Arsenal, they get a chance to get there as well. So I'm really looking forward to getting down there today and also meeting a load of the fans. Now, I know that one of the words that's going to be on the lips of a lot of the fans is all about Alexis Sanchez. Is he staying or is he going? And I know we talk about it every single day. I kind of thought to myself today, what I do is I'm really trying to delve down into the whole psyche of Alexis Sanchez and also trying to find out what might happen, right? Because we're coming to crunch time now. I think next week he's got to return back to training, even though he put out this Instagram message yesterday where he said he was sick, which prompted a lot of people to get very angry, thinking that he's trying to force a move. He very well may be sick, but I'm trying to find out what is going to happen with Alexis Sanchez. Now, these are the options. First of all, there's Manchester City, there's Paris Saint-Germain, there's four options, as I say: staying at Arsenal or staying at Arsenal just for one more year. Now, the four options are these. PSG have got the money to get it done. Arsenal may be willing to sell him to PSG because he's going abroad, but the sticking point for that is PSG are on the verge of trying to buy Neymar. If they buy Neymar, there's no way they're going to go for Alexis Sanchez, and they're already cooling on the whole thing of buying Alexis Sanchez. So it's very doubtful he's going to end up there. Manchester City, they want him. We know that for sure, but they've already spent a lot of money. Pep Guardiola coming out yesterday and saying, listen, we've spent a lot of money. I'm not even sure of how much more we're going to spend because we spent £250 million already on players. Now, to get Alexis Sanchez done, Arsenal are going to play hardball on it. They'd probably want 40 to 50 million. That's if they want to sell to City at all. That is going to put City's spending up very, very high. Now, we know that City are going to try and get rid of players. There's players like Wilfred Boney, Nasri, players like this that they want to get rid of. However, it's not going to be easy to get rid of some of those players because they're all on very high wages. So it's not an easy thing for City to do to get Alexis Sanchez if Arsenal dig their heels in on the deal. Now, if Arsenal do dig their heels in, then Sanchez has two options. He can either decide that, you know what, I'm going to stay at Arsenal. I'll sign a new contract. Arsenal offering him massive money, £300,000 to £350,000 a week, I'm understanding, that they're willing to pay him, which is a king's ransom. He's 28, going on 29 in December, so this is probably his last major contract, right? So he can get big money, and that's the big difference between this time and normally with Arsenal when they've got these players where their contracts are run down, the fact that they're offering him big money. So he's got that option. He could also say, all right, I'm going to stay here for one more year, not renew my contract, so he won't get no more extra money than what he's getting at the moment, which is about 120, 130 grand a week. But when he leaves at the end of the year, if he does go to Manchester City or wherever he goes, he'll be able to do a massive signing on contract. And you know what, out of all the four options that I'm looking at here, that's the one that I think might happen. I can see Alexis Sanchez not signing a new deal, but staying at Arsenal for one more year, then walking away at the end of it and signing on somewhere and getting himself a big fee. From what I understand, that's what the agents would like to do. Alexis wants to play for a Champions League football team. We're not in the Champions League. It's all horrible, but this is football business, and and this is how things sort of go. Thomas Lemar, what about that? We heard yesterday Arsenal put in a third bid, and that the third bid has been turned down. Monaco playing real hardball on this one, saying that he's not for sale. However, from what I understand is there's still dealings being done. Arsenal are still talking to Monaco, still trying to get this one done. Thomas Lemar is the number one priority for Arsenal right now. I suppose if Monaco, similar to our situation with Sanchez, ultimately dig in their heels and say no, then they're not going to be able to get him, and they'll have to move on to whoever the next target's going to be. But they're still after Thomas Lemar, despite the fact that Monaco making all the sounds that he's not going anywhere. Jean-Michel Seri, the African Javi, as we spoke about on the show yesterday. Now, lots of reports that Arsenal are monitoring the situation with him. They're interested in him. There's other clubs interested, of course. Everton are interested, Barcelona are interested. But Arsenal apparently taking a look and taking their time and saying to themselves, we're going to wait and see what happens with Nice. They're playing in the Champions League qualification. They've had the first leg in France, which they drew 1-1 with Ajax. Now, advantage to Ajax. Now, if they get knocked out of the Champions League, it might make getting Seri a lot easier. If they're still in the Champions League, Seri might say to himself, I'll just stay here at Nice. Get myself a nice deal. I want to play in the Champions League. So Arsenal monitoring the situation on that one. It could all depend what happens in that second leg. But Arsenal definitely interested in Seri. And Jack Wilshere. Seri would be sort of the player who'd be playing in that position where Jack Wilshere would play. Now, is he surplus to requirements at Arsenal? There's lots of talks linking him with different clubs. Now, it's being said today that he's desperately, wanting to play football this season, and he'd love to go to West Ham. Arsenal, from what I heard, they don't want to loan him again. If he does go, they're going to sell him and cash in on him. But that is the thought. I do know that Arsenal are looking to offload players, as we know. There's obvious ones they want to offload, but they may offload some others, because Ivan Gazidis, when he was over in China, he was saying to some supporters that, listen, we need to get rid of some players as well as buying. There's also quite a lot of players we need to move out of the club. So could it be the end of Jack Wilshere's career? He's been here since a little kid. Does starting to look to me that he will be on his way out. Listen, thanks for watching the show today. Listen, you can see I'm wearing my Prostate Cancer UK t-shirt. I've got my logo there. Really supporting this cause. I want to say thank you to everybody who's donated so far. If you want to donate, the link is in the description. Of course, I'm going to be walking around all the Premier League clubs in London. Just before the start of the season, I'll be going from West Ham to Palace to Chelsea, to Wembley where Tottenham play, then to the home of football, Arsenal after that, just in time for our first game against Leicester City. If you want to donate, it's for a great cause. Hit the link in the description. We've raised so much money already after just one full day of pushing this. You know what, it'd be amazing to really raise a massive amount of money for this fantastic cause, to try and raise awareness and also to raise money for Prostate Cancer UK. So thanks for watching the show today. Gonna get heading down now to the Emirates.